Today for a new collegiate championship competition, which features 15 individual national collegiate leaders. South Carolina's Terrence Trammell leads the world in the 110-meter high hurdles. Only the wind has kept Joyce Bates of LSU from similar credentials in the 100-meter hurdles with a 12.82 here at the Texas Relays. And this is sprinter Lawrence Armstrong. He could help Texas in the team battle. Both the women's and men's collegiate pole vault leaders are here, with Tracy O'Hara of UCLA threatening records. In fact, national leaders in 7 of the 8 women's field events are entered. Today we are in Austin, Texas, for a gathering of great collegiate track and field athletes from all over the country. Hi, everybody. I'm Bob Murphy, and this is Leslie Maxey. Leslie, of course, a 1988 Olympian and a great athlete at the University of Southern California. Leslie, what fun. 28 teams, 14 men, 14 women. The best in the country are here today.
And it's going to be a good meet. 8 of the top 10 women's teams are here, led by LSU and Texas. And on the men's side, we have 7 of the top 14 teams. They're going to lock horns right here in Texas.
Well, we're not going to take any more time right here. We're going to get right to the action. A little breezy here today, but a beautiful day in Austin. The first event of the afternoon, Leslie, 4x100. These are the women, and you would have to favor LSU coming in with the best time, but the Lady Longhorns right behind the Tigers.
That's right. It's going to be a cat fight. LSU does have the second fastest time in the country right now, but Texas is right behind them.
And there's that Texas team. You've got those entries, and look at that move right there. Wow.
Yeah, that was a good pass for Texas. They're a relatively young team, mostly freshmen and sophomore, but they've got so much potential.
Leslie, that explosive second leg by Mushami Robinson. She passes now to Lakeisha White. Now coming up on that final leg. Oh, this is the big one.
This is going to be a good leg. You got Peter Gay Dowdy for LSU and Aaliyah Williams for Texas, and she's out in front. She's got some good top-end speed, and she really is showing her stuff there.
Lady Longhorns coming down to the wire, and she hangs on to win it for Texas. Whoa, what a finish that was.
The upset victory. The upset victory. That was fantastic.
Texas, LSU, and South Carolina in that order. All right, Leslie, now the men's 4x1. Texas on the inside, from the inside out, lane 3, Texas, then Florida, then South Carolina, then USC, your alma mater, and Louisiana State, and then Nebraska. Look at Trammell running the second leg for South Carolina. You've got to favor South Carolina in this race.
That's right, but not too much, because you do have the top 3, 4, and 5 teams in the 4x100 in this relay. And there is Terrence Trammell in the black and white singlet. Ooh. Everything we expected from him. This young man went for a world record in the 100-yard dash not too long ago. Great pass for South Carolina, and they're taking it through the turn.
Trammell was shot out of a gun on that second leg.
And that's Jimmy Hackley, their great 400-meter runner, handing off to Corey Taylor.
Yep.
Taking it home. Look at those knees and that arm action. Absolutely textbook.
Boy, did Trammell set that up in the second leg. Wasn't that some burst?
He set the pace.
Oh, boy. Carolina wins it. No question about that. And the heroes of this epic were Terrence Trammell of South Carolina, and of course Sultan McCullough ran a great final leg for the Trojans to come in second. Now we'll take you back to yesterday, last evening, against the backdrop of the Texas State Capitol. This young man is Brian Jones from Washington State University. Came in to the javelin event with a best of 225 feet, and here he throws 223 feet, 10 inches, to win this event here in Austin today. The big junior from Nooksack, Washington. Yes, Nooksack, Washington. Leslie's down on the field with a happy winner.
I understand your winning toss was your second throw. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, I just tried to relax and just let it hang loose out there, and it went good. We got great weather today, nice tailwind, and it went good for me.
Okay.
Now the hammer throw, and of course, folks, you got to excuse her, but Leslie gets a little excited when she sees that old SC logo there. Who is this big guy?
That's Zabolis Miroti. He is from Southern California, and he is originally from Veszprém, Hungary. So we have a little international flavor going on. He's in the ring there. He finished 6th. He has the 6th best mark in the nation at 225.9. And that's a hefty toss there.
Oh, he got all of it that time, I think, Leslie.
All right, and his winning throw was 224.04, so it was a good day for Southern Cal.
SC, the winner of the event, UTEP 2nd, and USC also in 3rd. Now back with women's events, this is Saleha Sua of UCLA. She came clear across the country from Cooper City, Florida. And you know about this young lady, Leslie.
That's right. She's got the 3rd best mark in the nation this year so far at 55.5 and it looks like California's being very well represented at this meet.
So we just saw the Trojans. Now we have the Bruins. That evens it up for L.A. Here's the women's javelin, and Angeli Sialakuti of Texas El Paso by way of Greece is the favorite, but Leslie.
Cassie Morlock from Nebraska is getting ready to post the upset victory.
And Morlock throws it 181 feet for a Cornhusker win in the women's javelin.
And she bettered her PR of 178.6.
Now last evening, the women's 5,000, it's all a Texas story. A senior, Maureen Sweeney, on the right. Courtney Lancashire, a freshman, on the left. And old beats young here as Maureen Sweeney wins it for Texas. Maureen Sweeney from Houston, a winner here tonight. And Leslie is down on the field to chat with her right now.
We're here on your home track. You guys finished 1-2, and this is a team scoring event. What does that mean for you women?
Well, it's a great start off. You know, a little more confidence going in tomorrow, knowing that we have those points under our belt. So, sure, everybody appreciates that.
Now let's switch to the men's 5,000. This is Scott Lengefield of Texas A&M, and he's a senior from Houston, and he ran that 5,000, at least the end of it, all by himself, Leslie.
That's right, and coming in from LSU is Lakia Dayal. But Scott really has dropped down from the cross country. He was All-American, and this is nothing but a walk in the park for him.
Scoring on the basis of 10-8, 6-5, 4-3, 2-1 on the women's side. Texas up on top at 28, UCLA 26, and on down the line. Taking a look at the 14 men's teams, Nebraska and Texas A&M up on top, USC in 3rd place. And coming up next, the 1,500 meters right here on Fox Sports Net.
Remember how simple it used to be to show Mom how much you loved her? This Mother's Day, Verizon Wireless offers a special package to make it easy again. Get Mom 300 minutes to share, including long distance and 2 phone lines for just $39.99 a month. Add in 2 free AudioVox CDM 4000 phones, and it's one surprisingly sweet Mother's Day. Visit a Verizon Wireless Communications store or call 1-888-466-4646. Verizon Wireless. Join in.
Baseball was meant to be played on natural grass and with the different elements that affect a Major League Baseball game.
Batting 3rd, Alex Rodriguez.
Safeco Field is going to be the beginning of a new era. To me, it's a little bit more electric. When we hit home runs, when we make big rallies, the crowd is charged up and they're on top of you and they want to be part of the game. It's a great feeling.
Mariners baseball, Sodo Mojo.
A little earlier today, Leslie had a conversation with host coach Bubba Thornton and asked him what it means to Texas to host this great new championship.
It means that we brought a lot of great universities here to the university. We've got to increase our level of competition. I hope they learn how to compete so we know how we're going to do conference-wise and nationally.
Okay. So what specifically did you tell them about these athletes coming into their home?
Well, we need to let them know it's not easy here in Texas and that we're here to show up, and we're proud of our Mike Myers Stadium, and we want to do well in it.
We're on the last lap now of the women's 1,500. And that young lady out in front from Nebraska wearing orange, running on the rail there, that is Michelle Brooks, and she's led most of the way.
That's right, she has, but it's really difficult sometimes when you have to run against a a team in a team championship like this, because you have Kansas State coming up. Both Amy Mortimer and Corrine Hine have a lot of experience coming into this race. Even though Amy Mortimer is a freshman, she's got the number 3 on her singlet. She does have tremendous experience. She was a Foot Locker cross-country All-American in 1998, and she was a 4-time 3A cross-country championship. And so a race like this just does not faze this freshman.
She's being challenged now by Amy Mortimer of Kansas State, and then coming up right behind her is Corrine Hines. Those are a couple of wild cats.
All right. Corrine took last year off, so this year she's just kind of trying to get her stride back, but she looks good so far. She has the 8th fastest time in the nation right now, and it's a time of 4:20:49, so she really is coming back into form as she wins this race.
Looks like those 2 young ladies really ran as a team that time against Michelle Brooks of Nebraska. A nice winning time of 4:24.98 for Corrine Hines, and Leslie is down on the field with her right now.
Was it good for you during this race to run 3rd and then make a little bit of a comeback in the last 300 meters?
Yeah, because that we kind of planned. Me and my teammates said, let somebody else take it out, and then for the last 800, we just take off. But somebody does see like everybody was like playing around, nobody wanted to take the lead, so she went out. So if we didn't like go after her, well, probably I wouldn't end up winning today. So that was kind of good, but not too good.
All right, Leslie, let's switch now to the men's 1500 outstanding field. There's Carlos Suarez. He is from Texas, El Paso. He has the best time coming in, outstanding runner. And this young man is also good. Marcus Tanner from the University of Tennessee, and his time is just a little bit off the time of Suarez. Also outstanding runners. Franz Schimper of Louisiana State is in here. Sean Phillips of Cal Poly. And there are others. Chris Duncan of Florida, an outstanding runner. They're often running in the men's 1500.
It's always interesting as they go through these first few laps to see them bunched up and jockeying for a position. It can be a little bit hairy, and you have to be tough to run a race like this.
And you see Tanner hugging the rail, running in 3rd position right now, obviously trying to find a comfort zone. He's an outstanding runner. But Leslie, ahead of him and leading the race right now is Franz Schimper of Louisiana State, and right behind him is that young man from Cal Poly out in California, Sean Phillips.
Franz Schimper has a really interesting background. He's from South Africa, and he's majoring in international finance. And you know this? He is a rugby player. So you know what I said about being rough? He's the man.
They ought to play on a real long field.
Oh, yes. And he has a pretty good 800 time. He's got some ability to roll there. He has run a 150.11. So he can get it rolling, and he should be good towards the end of the race when it comes down to the foot race.
Still Schimper and Phillips in that order as they go down the back straight.
All right. That first 400-meter split time was 101.8. So they're kind of running slow. They're still pretty bunched up. They're probably waiting for somebody to take the lead. Right now it's more of a strategy game, and you would expect something like that on a day like this when it is so very windy. Nobody wants to take that win for all 3 3/4 laps of this 1,500 meters.
Well, I think the guy you were talking about has just appeared. Chris Duncan from the University of Florida has taken the lead. But that young man from Tennessee looks like he's making a move now. That is Marcus Tanner. And you see that orange outfit taking the lead and running right past Duncan, outside him, and the two of them now fighting for the lead.
That's right. Marcus has the 12th fastest time in the NC2A this year at 3:44.79, and they came through that 800 split at 2:03.3. So it looks like they're trying to pick it up a little bit, but it still is a pretty slow time.
I'm looking for Suarez. He has to appear in this race somewhere around in here. You see him now. He's running in 5th right now, and I think Suarez is going to make a move along in here, Les.
Yeah, he is really a steeple chaser by trade, so this is something a little bit different for him, but he's got that strength, and I think that is the thing that's going to carry him through this race.
Well, now he's up to 2nd. Now he's challenging Tanner for the lead. It looks like those two. Tanner of Tennessee and Suarez of UTEP.
That's right. It's hard to count Suarez out. Bob, he won the steeplechase at Mount Sac last year. He doesn't have a lot of experience running this 1,500 meter, but he was the first sub-4-minute miler for the minors in nearly 10 years. So he's got a lot of history on his back right now.
Suarez had the best time coming in. Tanner had the second best time, and that's the way they're running right now.
All right, we're a little past the 1,200 meters, but they did go through at 3:03.9, so they're picking it up now.
Now let's take a look at Mike Hummel of Texas A&M, moving from third to second, and now challenging for the lead. Suarez still out in front, Leslie.
That's right. Mike Hummel missed last year with a bout of mononucleosis, and looks like he's coming back big, but it is Suarez out front for the convincing victory.
Suarez the winner in 3:47.7. Mike Hummel a surprising second, and Marcus Tanner of Tennessee finishes third. Take a look at the results right there. Nice run for Suarez. Now the women's long jump, and that young lady is Jenny Adams of Houston. She comes in with the second longest mark in the nation this year at 21.5 1/4.
That's right, and she's been looking good today. She's had a great series. That was a very good jump. Let's see what they give her.
Big jump there. Let's see how they mark that one. That could be right there with that 21.5 1/4, maybe even better.
Oh, yes.
She's applauding her own self. How about that, Les? Did you ever do that?
Oh, yes, I did.
Sure you did.
At 21.9 1/2, that is ties the world best this year.
Some think the sprint hurdle races will be the best events in this meet, and they're coming up next.
If you're not a fisherman, you might think that Jim's a little crazy, that he's gone overboard. But fishermen understand. It's not just a pastime. It's a way of life. Like the tide, it controls everything they do. It's who they are and who they're with. And it's not just enough to say they love fishing. They're driven by it. eAngler.com understands. It features a world-class pro shop, guide services, travel, a complete newsstand, expert advice, and online licensing. It's the ultimate website dedicated to everyone who'd rather be fishing. Plus, call or log on to eAngler.com to enter the I Landed the Big One sweepstakes to win 4 exotic fishing trips around the world, a Ranger bass boat, and $65,000 in cash. So call or log on now and
catch it on eAngler.com.
The U.S. Track Coaches Association has done a wonderful job of putting this event together. Jimmy Carnes is the executive director. Leslie's with him now.
Now, what exactly is your role as executive director?
Well, several years ago, the NCAA coaches in Division I said, we've got to do something to improve track and field. So we created an organization and invited schools from all over the nation to become a part of it, not just Division I, but 2, 3, and the high schools and community colleges. And we went to the United States Olympic Committee and got a grant to promote collegiate track and field series, which promotes scored track meets throughout America. This year we have 74 meets with over 200 universities participating in the series, and we only want to get bigger and better.
Coach, why the need for a college series?
Well, throughout America, we have gotten away from scoring track meets. We do not have head-to-head competition. We run around the country trying to score in time and distance and qualify for the NCAA, and that does not create interest for spectators. So we are doing everything possible to create scored track meets throughout America with one university running against another, or maybe 8 or more like we have here.
Okay. Now, you had a lot of choices of venues for this meet, the team championships. Why did you choose Texas at Austin?
Well, the University of Texas has built one of the finest facilities in the United States and maybe in the world. I refer to this as maybe a small Olympic complex because it is fantastic. With the relays last couple of weeks ago, they had something like 26,000 people watching the event. So they have a great following here, and this is just an ideal place for a great track meet.
6 of the top 9 in the country are in the women's 100-meter hurdles, and the best of them is Joyce Bates of LSU. She has the leading time in the country, Les.
She's a 2-time All-American, and she's run as fast as 12:82. Now, Nicole Hoxie in lane 5 from Texas has a time of 12:99 this year. Anna Lakeisha Williamson from South Carolina has the 6th fastest time in the nation. These young ladies are ready to roll.
Leslie, you know something about this race, don't you?
Just a little bit.
An Olympian in '88. Yeah, I think she does. This is an outstanding field, folks.
For those of you that don't know much about hurdles, you have to watch their lead legs. Whoever comes over first is in the lead. Joyce Bates is such a fabulous technician. Look at that trail leg coming, snapping through. Her lead leg is popping down, and she's got the victory.
She is flawless, Leslie. Wow.
You just can't beat what she's doing there. As she takes off from the start, she's in about 2nd place, both she and Lakeisha Williamson, but her technique is just so fantastic. Her trail arm stays nice and tight, coming around her leg, and she just does not waste any of her momentum or her time.
She seemed to gather it all together about the 3rd hurdle. And then she wins in 12:79, the 2nd best time in the world this year. Here she is.
You're coming in here undefeated on the year. Was there any pressure on you to keep that streak alive?
Well, yeah, because last year, I won indoor nationals, and I came out, I was supposed to, do the same thing I did indoor, outdoor. Last year I had a bad year outdoor, so this is my last year, so I'm just, every time I step on the track, I'm ready to run. I'm ready to just do everything. Only thing I can do is just maintain focus and just keep on running every time I step on the line.
Melissa Price of the University of Nebraska in the women's hammer throw from Anaheim, California. She has the 2nd best mark in the nation at 2:10.7.
Melissa has got a lot on the ball. She's a 2-time academic all Big 12, so she's got brains and brawn. And she chucked that hammer out there. Let's see what that throw is.
Well, she is really quick on the circle, Leslie.
She is. She was challenged by Christine Tolson of UCLA, but she was able to eke out the win at 2:13.1, which takes over the nation's best mark and also a stadium record.
Leslie, you know something about hurdles. This is the men's 110-meter high hurdles. Not many own an event like Terrence Trammell of South Carolina does with this event.
He's #1 in the world. Can you own it anymore? And he's a 4-time NC2A champion. Ryan Wilson from Southern California came in with a windy 13.90. He's also a 300-meter hurdler from high school. Stephen Jones in lane 6 is from Florida.
Now, right in the middle of the track in lane 5, watch Trammell. This young man is absolutely outstanding, could easily be an Olympian this summer.
He is just as fine a human being as he is a hurdler. Nice and humble. There he goes, hitting the hurdles as he is patented. He's known for this, but he's so strong that it doesn't affect his stride at all, and that's what separates him from the field.
He knocked over 6 or 7 hurdles. So Trammell with just a scintillating performance here today, and Leslie's with him down on the track right now.
I understand you're training with Alan Johnson. Has his experience helped you both in technique and the benefit of the experience for here's just world travel and things of that nature?
Yeah, he helped me out a great deal. I mean, it's not every day you can train with two-time world champion, Olympic gold medalist, and so it helps a great deal.
Okay, well, you're no slouch yourself. You're a double gold medalist at the World University Games as well as Track and Field News Collegiate Male Athlete of the Year. How are you able to neutralize the pressure that is inherent with those types of titles?
I just don't let it get to me. I just go with God, do the best that I can. I mean, I'm just blessed.
Now the men's long jump, and a big field in this event. Marcus Thomas, probably the favorite. Louisiana State is his school, and here he is right now, as a matter of fact, Leslie.
All right, he comes in with a best time of 26 1/4, but he beats that today, jumping 26.1 even.
And a little wind at his back, but it's a legal win. Over 26 feet anytime. That's a good one. There are the results right there. Marcus Thomas of LSU, the winner. And let's now take a look at scoring on the women's side. UCLA up on top by 2 over Nebraska. And on the men's side, look how close that is. LSU, SC, Texas A&M, 1, 2, 3. Coming up next, the women's 400-meter dash. There's Demetria Washington of South Carolina.
In Seattle, there's water everywhere, so it's no surprise that people here build really good boats. Just stop by the Center for Wooden Boats and see for yourself. It's a local tradition, one marked by beauty and excellence. And just a few miles away, you'll discover the La Quinta tradition of style, with rooms more generous than you imagined and more amenities than you really expected. That's at every La Quinta, every time. So when you're in Seattle, explore the Center for Wooden Boats and then drop anchor at La Quinta.
Mile after anxious mile, you know it's coming. You imagine what it looks like, how it might feel. Your heart pounds as it approaches, and then it's behind you. Can you imagine how that feels?
Have you ever been experienced? Well, I have.
DMX technology, performance you can feel. Are you feeling it?
Track and Field News, the Bible of the sport since 1948. In each monthly issue, you get the news, in-depth results, and meet accounts, the features, interviews with your favorite athletes, statistics, performance lists, records, rankings, progressions. To subscribe, phone 1-800-GET-TRACK. That's 1-800-GET-TRACK. Charged to your Visa, MasterCard, or American Express. A one-year subscription, $38.95 for Track and Field News.
Women's 400 meters coming up, and if any school owns this event, it has to be South Carolina with Mickey Barber, fastest time in the country, and Demetria Washington. And those two, interesting, Leslie, they're going to be running right together in lane 5 and 6, and I think they're going to be running right together all the way around the track.
I think so too, but I think Miss Barber might show her dominance quite early. This will be a good race.
Heavily favored in this event, right in the middle. Of course, everyone in staggers here. But watch those two dark uniforms right in the middle of the track, running just a stagger away from one another right now.
Bob, right about now, they're coming into that strong headwind, and it's the worst thing for a 400-meter runner. It'll help them on the home stretch, but as they enter this curve, they're really very winded. Right about now, you want to try to lift your knees because you want to gain some momentum as you enter that all-important last 100 meters. And there goes Mickey Barber in lane 5, as we predicted. She's a very strong runner. Look at her arm action.
They like the wind now.
Yes, they do.
Mickey
right
really,
at their back.
really made a move on her teammate Demetria on the turn, and those two, as we guessed, finish 1-2. And Mushami Robinson of Texas finishes third. And Mickey Barber, with a fine time of 51.54, lives up to her top billing. Leslie's Weather.
Now, you're still pretty young, but you won a gold and silver at the World University Games. Do you feel like that took you to the next level and gave you a little extra confidence for this season?
Yes, well, I've been to, I've not really been internationally except for on the junior team in France, but this, in Spain, it gave me a lot of experience. I got to race with a lady who ran 49.88, so I was with a lot of very experienced and good people, so I think I have enough to make it to the Olympics.
Okay, I was going to ask about that confidence going into the trials. You've got to be one of the people that they're looking at to be at least top 8.
Yeah, I know I'm young, but I think I'm mature enough. I think I can hold my grounds in the 400 and make it on the relay on the open, because I think I have just as much as everybody else does. I won't let my edge get to it.
Okay, well, we'll look for you in Sacramento.
The experienced track and field fans, of course, know that you take a look at lanes 4, 5, and 6. And Jimmy Hackley of South Carolina rated the favorite in this race, but Gino White is in lane 5 from Florida. He might just challenge here.
I absolutely think he can. He qualified in a time of 46.49, so he's running well. We'll see how it plays out.
Anthony Authorities from Houston, of course, could challenge too. He's in lane 4. So watch right in the middle of the track, lanes 4, 5, and 6, with Jimmy Hackley of South Carolina in lane 6, the favorite in the race.
Again, the wind is playing the villain today, and I know these guys are feeling it as they enter this first back stretch. But it'll help them at the other side, like you said before. So we will see.
Let's watch Hackley on the turn now in lane 6, and he's making his move. He's the third runner from your left. And look at him close the stagger on the turn as he picks up the wind at his back right now.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about Gino White outside of him. He is a transfer from Barton Community College, and he's still trying to get some experience. But Jimmy Hackley from South Carolina comes in. He's got that experience under his belt. He's run the PRs, and he wins the race.
Interesting that Jimmy Hackley came in with a time of 45.4 and Gino White 45.6. That's exactly the way they ran.
I really don't care what goes on behind me. You know, as long as I just hold them off and keep running strong. I'm running this stuff meet by meet. I'm really not concerned with rankings and all that stuff because at nationals, anything happens.
Now, I understand that Michael Johnson is one of your favorite runners. Why do you identify with him so closely?
Okay, all right, well, because he was different and he went against the grain. All of the technical type techniques of running, he went against that. And that's the same thing I feel I'm going against because coaches don't really know how to change. They want to change and not do styles instead of just going with the flow. And that's what this coach did, just work with what they had.
Coming up next, the 100-meter races right here on Fox Sports Net.
There's a place where cars and dreams intersect, where wild ideas ride around on four wheels, and folks point and stare. It's a world full of wonder. It's the Art Car Museum in Houston, Texas. And just down the road, there's La Quinta, where you'll be amazed by our style. You'll find rooms more generous than you imagine, and more amenities than you really expected. That's at every La Quinta, every time. So if you're ever in Houston, check out the Art Cars, and then check into La Quinta.
If you can't get enough of the Track and Field Gold Series, you can get your very own Track and Field Gold Series VHS cassettes. Send $25 check or money order for each meet desired to VIMA, Box 5401, San Mateo, California, 94402. California residents add $2.06 sales tax. Please specify the name of the meet that you desire. Order your Track and Field Gold tapes today.
Before they were champions, they wore golden gloves. Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, Mike Tyson, Oscar de la Hoya. Legends are born here. Golden Gloves. The Tournament of Champions. Tomorrow at 8 Pacific on Fox Sports Net.
Now the women's 100, and this is an interesting race, too, because once again, we have one team with two outstanding runners, Lakeisha White and Aaliyah Williams, both of Texas. But first they have to get past Candace Young of USC.
And in lane 5, there's Lakeisha White. She has the 4th fastest time in the nation. And after her, in lane 6 is Aaliyah Williams, who has the 6th fastest time in the nation at 11:29. And Shakidia Jones from UCLA has the 2nd fastest time in her heat at 11:56. And Velma Bass from LSU rounds out the field, 11th in the nation. And here we go with a very hot race.
Yes, it is a hot race, and concentrate on lanes 4, 5, and 6. Candace Young, Lakeisha White, Aaliyah Williams. That's where the action should be.
That young Texas squad, you just got to love them in the middle of the track. Freshman and sophomore, Aaliyah Williams and Lakeisha White. And it is Lakeisha White in the middle of the track for the victory.
Lady Longhorns 1-2.
Oh, yes.
I think that's the way it was. And they're easy to spot with those classy outfits on. They look like they just came from Neiman Marcus, don't they?
That's right, and they got the job done today.
And down on the track now, Leslie is voicing our question about the strength of Lakeisha's race.
Well, we work a lot on it in practice, and, you know, Bev always tells me that's the key to my race is the middle part. And I know my start isn't all that great, but I have until nationals to work on it.
Okay. Now, I understand Bev Kearney did talk to you guys a little bit about competing over these next few weeks, even showed some films. What specifically did she say that spoke to you?
Heart. You have to have heart. We've trained a hard 3 weeks, and our bodies are tired, but this meet shows what's in here, and that's what matters, and our team has showed a lot of this today.
Well, here's an interesting race, the men's 100, and we have the great Longhorn, Lawrence Armstrong, but he's surrounded by Gators.
That's right, he sure is, and they are going to be biting today. We have Damon Carroll from Florida, who's a 9-time All-American, and Lawrence Armstrong, 3rd best in the nation from Texas. Bernard Williams from Florida is the 12th best in the nation, so we really have a very tight field. Should be a good race.
Let's watch I wonder how Lawrence feels. I don't know how I'd feel if I had gators on either side, but that's the way it is in lanes 4, 5, and 6.
I have to believe this Barton County transfer is not phased, and he has a great start.
Oh, look at that. Boy, the three of them right together. Look at that, Leslie.
So close.
Wow.
I don't want to call it. I do not want to call it. And I guess they're not quite sure who won. We have hands raised here. There we go.
Williams thought he won.
Looks like Lawrence Armstrong. He's celebrating a little bit more. The cameraman is keying on him, so let's go with him for the winner and look for the result. Ooh.
I hope when he held the horns up, but it looked like almost we're number 2.
Is it a shoulder or is it a chest?
Look at that.
Not quite sure.
Well, that's what they have this electronic timing for. Here's the men's discus, and this is Tolga, Leslie.
Kolcioglu, that's right, from Texas A&M. He is from Germany. He was a German junior champion. So he's got some history behind him, a little bit of international experience. Second best mark in the nation was 2:09.9, and today he threw
2:03.10 to win the event. Tolga doesn't get a PR, but it's good enough to win here today. Now, very quickly, we pick up the high jump as Mark Boswell of Texas goes over the bar at 7.2 1/4 to win here today, but he's gone much higher than that, Leslie.
He's a silver medalist from last year's World Championships, setting a Canadian and school record of 7.8 1/2. So look for him in Sydney.
And Leslie has a little chat with Mark.
Now, you have a 16-meet winning streak going right now. Do you feel like you have to kind of block that out when you take the mat?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I can't come in there with a arrogant attitude and thinking I'm number one and just trying to dominate everything. I just go in there and do my thing and compete to make my team number 1.
It's okay to think that you're number 1 because you got the silver medal at the World Championships. That's great. And you were competing for Canada. What things will you be working on over these next couple of months to prepare yourself for Sydney?
Well, definitely. A day like this could happen in Sydney with their weather being different. And I got to work on these winning competition because it's a stepping stone to going to the Olympics and doing well there.
On the women's side in scoring after 10 events, Texas has a 7-point lead over the Bruins and the Cornhuskers. On the men's side, look at Texas, LSU, and Texas A&M jammed at the top. And coming up next, the women's pole vault with UCLA's Tracy O'Hare trying for a record.
Fitness isn't just about looking good. It's also about staying strong and staying active. That's exactly why you need a Bowflex. You can work out anytime you want. You can reshape your body by building muscle and burning calories. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. It doesn't matter how old you are. Because with more than 60 different exercises and 10 simple training routines, Bowflex can deliver the kind of workout you need to get the results you really want. You can lose weight. You can be stronger. You can build muscle. And you can do it with the Bowflex. It's quick, easy, convenient, and takes as little as 20 minutes a day because Bowflex incorporates both strength and aerobic exercise. Bowflex even folds up to save space. Visit us on the internet at www.bowflexdirect.com. For a free video and brochure, call right now.
Now let's take a look at the women's 800-meter run in an interesting field, heavily favored Liz Diaz of Texas. There is the start, all in staggers for the start. And then, of course, after they get to a certain point in the race, they'll break to the pole. The leading times in this race belong to Liz Diaz, Svetlana Bedrankova, Svetlana from UTEP, and then, of course, Alicia Buterbaugh of Washington State.
Really expect Liz to dominate this race. She was a runner-up in NC2As last year, so she's got that experience under her belt, and this is her home track, so she's not going to let anybody use her at her own home.
That's Diaz and Buterbaugh right now running 1-2. Rather comfortably, it looks like, huh?
Yes, definitely. It looks like Liz is more going for time because she's not worried about the wind right now. She's not trying to let somebody else absorb that part of the race. So, you know, maybe we can see a good time from her.
Third best performer in the nation at 2:04.61.
She won her heat at 2:06.61, so she's come to run today. She really, really has. Now, Buderbaugh cannot be discounted from Washington State. She's a senior from La Center, Washington. She has the 7th best time in the nation at 2:05.66, but Liz is looking strong.
Alicia looks like she's content to just follow. She's kind of, as what do they say in stock car racing? She's drafting.
She definitely is, and that's really smart. But you know what? She's going up against Liz, and Liz has a kick. So if she wants to try to do something, she needs to do it now as she enters that last 150 meters. I don't know if she can take her over.
She's trying right now, Leslie.
Yes.
I think she's trying to get on the curve and get that wind to kick her in the back. Let's see what happens here.
I think she may have waited a little too late. I can't see Liz letting her pass her, especially coming down this last 100 meters. I just can't see it happening. She's got too much experience. Like I said, she was a runner-up last year at NC2As. This is going to be her year.
And being on the rail, of course, an advantage as you come around that corner, pick up the wind. And Liz Diaz has a little too much, and she's going to win it for the Lady Longhorns. Fine run and very much under control.
That was a very technically strong race by Liz. She took it out, and she kept that lead.
And, of course, the winner here, Liz Diaz of the Lady Longhorns.
John and Bev have been working on my body mechanics the last 200 meters, so lifting through the body and then just trying to work the arms, power to the finish line.
Now, you are the Big 12 champion in both the 800 and the 1500 meter. Which one do you prefer?
Oh, right now I like them both. There was a time when I would say the 15, another time I say the 8, so I'm trying to really work on both just to get overall strength.
Now here's Tracy O'Hara, Leslie, and she's very acrobatic, very much an athlete. She has been a gymnast, and she knows how to do this event.
Oh, yes, she does. She has this year alone bested her own collegiate records 3 times, and this is attempting her 4th. And she does it 14.7 1/4, a collegiate record again for Stacey O'Hara. Later, she attempts to break Stacy Dragilla's record with a jump of 15.2 1/4. She doesn't make it, but it was a strong attempt. People around the country are calling her one of the best technicians in the event right now.
Leslie's with Tracy on the track right now.
I understand on your world record attempt, the second looked really, really good. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, I cleared 14.7 1/4, and I decided to go for the world record. That was actually in my head, my goal today. I was going to attempt 15 feet. My second attempt was over, and I came down on it. And I knew I had it in my third attempt, and my run got a little messed up and no good, but if I had one more attempt, maybe.
As you enter the NC2As and then the Olympic trials, what types of things are you going to try to concentrate on and possibly improve on in your vaults?
I'm going to try to get a lot faster, stronger, even though there's not a lot of time left. So just keep training hard and get bigger poles, get on some big poles. And I think that's what's going to help me get over the bar.
Now the men's 800, and it is in progress, Leslie.
Jess Struzel from UCLA came in here with a time of 1:54.10 qualifying, but he really lulled everybody into a false sense of security. This young man ran a 1:46.57 indoors, so he's got some speed.
He was beaten in the heats by Chris Burns of Nebraska, and he lurks in the background here. He'll finish 4th. I rather think, Leslie, that Jess Struzel was saving himself for the finals, so to speak, don't you?
Most definitely. Now, having won the indoor 800 meters, do you feel like there's any added pressure, or do you think that that helps you as you enter this long outdoor season?
I think it's a little bit of both. It gives me the confidence that I can win, but it also puts a lot of pressure in saying that I have to win. You know, I got a lot riding on that.
On the scoreboard now, after 12 events, the Longhorns lead it both ways, and we'll be back right here on Fox Sports Net right after this break.
Every day, AmeriDebt helps more people with money problems. People like Tom Baker.
My credit card debt was outrageous. Then I called AmeriDebt. They contacted my creditors and got my payments almost cut in half. Now I have only one small monthly bill.
AmeriDebt is a nonprofit organization that offers free consultations to consumers seeking to eliminate their debt. People like the Shaws.
Every month I pay our credit card bills, but the balances never seem to get smaller.
AmeriDebt got our interest rates reduced, and now the balances are dropping dramatically.
And what's even more amazing is our payments are less than before.
Call 1-800-358-6767. Regardless of your credit, in minutes, join the thousands of people who have turned their financial lives around. people like Maria Rinaldi.
Before I called Ameridebt, the creditors were calling every day. I thought bankruptcy was the only way out. Now I'm debt-free, and my credit rating has been restored.
Call 1-800-358-6767. 1-800-358-6767. Ameridebt, helping America get out of debt.
The women's 400-meter hurdles now, and favored in this race, two young ladies from Texas, one from Washington State, Leslie.
That's right. From the outside in, Angel Patterson is #1 in the nation with a time of 55.50. Tanya Jarrett inside of her has the second fastest time with 55.86. And rounding it out, Randy Smith from Washington State, 57.61. We got a starter there.
Just about ready to go. Runners in staggers. And we'll watch them all the way around that first turn.
This really should be a fight between Tanya and Angel. They are teammates as well as training partners. But
Tanya just pulled up. She just pulled up.
She did. Oh, she didn't go down, so that's a good sign. Now, Angel Patterson then is outside, and there's a big gap between Angel and Randy. Randy's in lane 4, so it's going to be very difficult for Randy to take advantage of that and pull off of Angel. And Angel is a little bit vulnerable out there that far.
And Angel made up the stagger in that race early, and you know about that, Leslie.
That's right. Her form is a little bit rocky. She's probably tired having fought that wind on the first stretch. So as she enters this back stretch, they're going to want to use that wind to help them reach their stride and successfully clear these hurdles.
See if Angel Patterson looks like she might have lost that lead now. Let's see what happens.
Right. Randy Smith is on her, but Angel is able to power her out at the end. It had nothing to do with her form and everything to do with her shape.
So it's Patterson the winner, Smith is second, and Williamson of South Carolina is third.
Ooh. It's an ugly race when you have to run against the wind like that, but in times like that, you just want to finish and go for that win.
Now, there's the injury right there.
Oh, yeah, and we've been told that it was a misstep that caused a cramp for Tanya Jarrett, so she will be okay. And you can, right there, you really just see her muscle grab.
She did the smart thing, didn't she?
She absolutely did. There's no reason to push it out.
There are the results of the race. Angel Patterson, the winner. And here's Bashir Ramsey of Texas A&M from Dallas, Texas. He knows a little something about this triple jump.
He sure does. He has a best windy time of 54.2½, and 53.8½ is enough to win the event over Chris Hercules from Texas, and it was the upset win because Hercules was #1 in the nation.
And you see the Lone Star blowing in the wind, and here's Keisha Spencer of LSU, a senior from Jamaica, has the top mark in the nation.
She certainly does. She has a wind-aided 46.1½, and her best legal jump is 45.10. That's a personal best. She's a 3-time All-American in this event and the NC2A outdoor champion last year.
And Keisha Spencer wins it with a leap of 46.5 1/4. Now the men's 400-meter hurdles, and in lanes 4, 5, and 6, David Aaron of Texas, Travick McAshan of Texas A&M, and John Hall of UCLA. Each of them has run this race under 51 flat, Leslie. Very, very quick, and it's those three.
Yes, today they'll just be running for place. They can't be running for time because it is so windy. Last night it was much better conditions for this type of race.
So we'll be watching David Aaron of Texas in lane 4, Travis McAshan of Texas A&M in lane 5, and John Hall of the Bruins in lane 6.
David Aaron from Texas in lane 4 has the 5th best time in the nation so far this year at 50.56, and he's got a nice, long, lean stride. I really like the way this young man runs.
And John Hall, you can spot him, of course, with that baby blue and those yellow pants. You don't like those colors very much, except your mom went there, Leslie. You got to admit that.
That's okay. That's okay. All right, so coming into hurdle number 9, David Aaron is definitely dominating the race, although he's got a pretty dangerous lead leg. Looks like he circumducted that 10th hurdle a little bit, which can cause you some trouble as far as fatigue is concerned.
I think John Hall of the Bruins got up for second. McAshan of Texas A&M appeared to finish third. And here's Leslie with the local winner.
Was it weird for you to have you guys so bunched up 7 through 10?
It was, but I figured if I got out on them, I could kind of control the race. And I expected them to go with me, but I knew they wouldn't be used to the wind on this track, and since this is my home track, I was expecting in the back straight.
Now taking a look at the scoreboard on the women's side, the Bruins might still have a chance of catching the Longhorns. Men, looks like the Longhorns all the way. Coming up next, the women's 200 right here on Fox Sports Net.
Just outside of Raleigh, North Carolina, is Wallace Simpson's place. He can't tell you why he builds these things, but then again, when the wind blows, he doesn't have to. And down the road at La Quinta, we've got an art of our own, a friendly style that means generous rooms with all the extras. At every La Quinta, every time. So if you're ever in Raleigh, look for Wallace's place, and then stop over and spend the night at ours. Now when you catch some Z's at La Quinta, you could catch the athletes in Sydney. Ask for details.
Mile after anxious mile, you know it's coming. You imagine what it looks like, how it might feel. Your heart pounds as it approaches, and then it's behind you. Can you imagine how that feels?
Have you ever been experienced? Well, I have.
DMX technology, performance you can feel. Are you feeling it?
For 8 days this summer, Sacramento will play host to the 2000 U.S. Olympic Track and Field Trials. 8 days of world record holders, bright new stars, Olympic champions, and even a hometown hero. With all the dreams and all the drama of the purest and most powerful spectacle in sports. The U.S. Olympic Track and Field Trials, July 14th through the 23rd. Weekend ticket packages are now being offered.
Going in, the women's 200 looks like a race between two outstanding runners, Peta Gay Dowdy of LSU and Lakeisha White of Texas. There you see Lakeisha. You saw Peta just a moment ago. What do you think, Leslie?
It's going to be a hot race. Lakeisha is young, but hey, she won that 100 meters, so she comes in here with a little bit of something under her belt. But Peta Gay Dowdy has got a lot of experience having run internationally for Jamaica. She takes off great running through the tube. She's nice and low and tight, which is where you want to be as a sprinter coming through that first turn.
Peta in lane 5, inside her Lakeisha White. And, of course, you can pick out those Texas ladies with those bright white outfits that they have on.
But Peta is dominating this race as we thought. She's a bronze medalist last year in World Championships for Jamaica.
She almost made it look too easy. What a race for Peta Gay.
Trust me, she had to work hard.
Now the men's 200. Leslie, let's take a look at this field. It has some good ones.
It certainly does. In lane 4, we have Derek Brew from LSU. He's a senior from Houston. And in lane 6, we're seeing Lawrence Armstrong again from Texas. He already won the 100 meters. And in lane 7, Chris Chandler from Nebraska, junior from Stark, Florida.
And you don't think Armstrong's excited about the possibility of being a double winner before a hometown crowd, do you?
I think he's definitely excited about establishing his name here in Texas. He's from Barton Community College, and he transferred over, so this is his first year, and he's getting a lot of good experience under his belt.
Lakeisha White couldn't do it earlier here on the Longhorn campus, but possibly Armstrong can do it this time. Let's see.
He's got a great top-end speed. He really does, and he's able to pull it out for the victory.
He did it.
Fantastic race. He could have run that turn a little bit harder. Maybe he was trying to gauge where he was, but he certainly pulled it out in the end.
20.44, a fine run for Armstrong. Leslie's with the double winner.
Both of those races had very close finishes. Is this becoming par for the course for you? Is it just something you expect, or did it rattle you at all?
Well, it's what I expect. You know, me and my coach have been working over it in practice, you know, just basically just coming out, preparing for the race, concentrating on doing things right. Today I was trying to concentrate on not coming out the blocks last, you know, and as I keep coming out the blocks good, I was concentrating on getting them in position and holding it. I'm very happy with my win, you know. I just only get better from here.
Leslie, we just had a double winner for Texas, and now it looks like we might have one for the Bruins. Seilala Sua has already won the shot put on the women's side today. Now Looks like she might win the discus, too. She's the nation's leader.
She very well may. She's a 2-time national champ and a 3-time NC2A champ in the discus and a 6-time All-American. So she's got the credentials wrapped up.
Seilala Sua throws it way over 200. Nobody else came close to that. Now the men's shot put, Leslie, and we got a lot of big, strong guys out there.
Yes, we do. The biggest being Ian Waltz from Washington State. He's a senior from Post Falls. He's got the 5th best mark in the nation at 62.9 1/4. He missed all of last season with a torn tendon on his throwing hand between his finger and his palm, so he's really back in form now.
Ian Waltz, the winner. Here are the results of the shot. Now the women's high jump, and this young lady is Carrie Braness, University of Nebraska, junior from Litchfield, Minnesota. She came in with a season best of 6 feet even. And today she is going to clear 5:10.5 to win the event, and a big smile, as you can see. Official results, and Braness wins on the basis of fewer misses. We'll be back with more on Fox Sports Net.
The 18th mile tests my will, while the 3rd burns your lungs. And elsewhere, someone's mile is their marathon. The only thing we have to do to end the pain is stop running.
Have you ever been
We keep running.
Well, I have.
DMX technology, performance you can feel. Are you feeling it?
For 8 days this summer, Sacramento will play host to the 2000 U.S. Olympic Track and Field Trials. 8 days of world record holders, bright new stars, Olympic champions, and even a hometown hero. With all the dreams and all the drama of the purest and most powerful spectacle in sports. The U.S. Olympic Track and Field Trials, July 14th through the 23rd. Weekend ticket packages are now being offered.
Between love and hate, it's a thin line.
Corrine Hines and Amy Mortimer, both of Kansas State, finished 1-2 in the women's 3,000. They did the same thing earlier today in the women's 1,500. They finished 1-2 for the second time. Anthony Famagletti of Tennessee wins the 3,000-meter steeplechase. Cesar Perez Segovia of UTEP second. Stadium record for Famagletti, 8:47.41. Kinshasa Davis of USC holds off Mickey Barber of South Carolina. The women of Troy win the closing relay. Derek Brew runs a great final leg for LSU in the 4x4 relay. Felix Sanchez comes up second for the Trojans. Russ Bueller of LSU came into the pole vault today with the nation's leading mark at 18.8 1/4. He came very close to that, winning the event today in 18.6 1/2. Bueller, a senior at Louisiana State. Bueller is also a 4-time All-American and the school record holder at 19 feet 1/4 inch and a 3-time league champion. John Nance of Texas A&M finishes second at 18.2 1/2. Our thanks and congratulations to the University of Texas for hosting the first USTCA Team Championship. What a great event. As you can see, the Longhorns also played a host role in winning both on the women's side, with the Bruins coming up second, and on the men's side with Louisiana State. Leslie, how about a word from you?
Well, this meet definitely lived up to its billing as a true national team championship. On the men's side, I was most impressed by Texas sprinter Lawrence Armstrong, who won both the 100 and 200 meters. And of course, who could forget the world record attempt in the pole vault by Tracy O'Hara from UCLA. So as always, thanks for joining us, and thank you for supporting college track and field.
This is Bob Murphy wishing you a pleasant good afternoon from Austin, Texas.
This is Fox Sports Net.
Come on, we'll be late.
Ready in a minute.
A minute?